So the title of this video can be taken as innuendo, as a funny joke, as more than what the words say. I want to take the time at the beginning of the video to say that this video wasn't going to have none of that in it. I'm going to speak to you plainly. And the words that I mean are the words that I say. A tool of confusion is speaking in subliminal ways. You understand? People will say things that mean another thing, and that's how they converse. That's all just to throw a whole nother level of confusion and fear into the mix. Because now my words can mean everything other than what I'm saying. So I want to take this time to let you know I'm speaking to you plainly, and the words that I say are the words that I mean. Now, this is basically a follow-up to the previous video where I said, which is titled, "They want black men to be gay." This is the other side of that. And this is for the women. I want to address what's going on with the women. Now, they have lots of people that they use to influence you. They get you riled up. They get you following these people. I'm gonna speak specifically on women. To get you to act how they act. All with the aim of furthering the divide between our men and our women. I also want to take this time to say, I, for one, I do not consider myself to be Afrocentric. But I do have to deal with the fact that I am a black man. I say that to say, I'm not about superiority of one race over the other. You understand? I'm not about black people are better than these people and we are superior in this way. No, I want all people to be equal. But the facts are the facts, and not everybody looks at it like that. And honestly, the people who are in power look at it like black people are superior and they must be dealt with accordingly. So they do lots of things to handle us. And the way that they do that is by way of our minds. Now, one tiny element of this is black men wanting to be gay. But the women, they want you all to be sex toys, you know? They want you all to be, to put it simply, bodies with no mind inside. While they are putting men onto homoerotic vibrations, they're at the same time, and this is a double-edged sword, because if I'm going to tell everybody to focus on penis size, this is just making the women have no value for men in other areas. Now, it should be known, it should be acknowledged that things, for instance, like birth control, things like government assistance, all of these things are here to provide a woman with an elevated level of independence. Now you might say, what's wrong with women being independent? You realize that if the woman is independent of the man, where does the child come in? And we have to remember that the aim here is to stop us from procreating. Now, they definitely don't want no black man having sex with no white women. But what they definitely don't want is black men and black women making a whole bunch of babies, because that's just more black people to deal with. So they want y'all to value a man for basically one of two things. And if you would look at it, you would see this trend is true. They want you to value a man for the size of his penis and how much money he has. And that's it. There was a point in time where, and I swear, women had feelings, bro. Y'all cared about stuff. Y'all cared about a dude showing y'all that they cared about y'all. Where is that now? Now females are all about the bag and getting their own money, saying fuck a nigga. Do y'all understand that men and women are made for each other? They don't want y'all to come together. They want to divide us. The phrasing that I like to use is thresholds. Women in the past have had a very low threshold for dealing with a man. He didn't have to be all that handsome. He didn't have to have all that much money. He just had to be able to give her and her children what they needed to survive, to provide for them in very necessary ways. Now it's a requirement for females to have a dude get their hair done and their nails done and this, that, and the third. This is to weed out men who don't have a lot of money. But you have to remember and realize we are systematically oppressed. The system is designed for black men to have less money. You have to pair all of these things together. If it's harder for a black man in this country to get a certain job, just walking in there with your black face, you already fighting an uphill battle. Loners will turn you down based on the fact that you are a minority. Crime, it's all stacked against us. So when you get to the point of a woman being in your face and you've already had to fight through all these barriers, you may not have as much as somebody else. They use that against you. They use that against us. See, the whole while we're being told to value long hair, a fat ass, man, there are plenty of men out there who care about you the way that you are, okay? But this whole obsession over body parts, it affects us both. Because at the same time, while you're feeling like, I need a bigger butt and bigger breasts, and you put these things in a man's face, you desensitize him to the image of those things. You understand? So your being shallow is detrimental to his attraction to you. There's so many angles. This is definitely far from the last video that I'm going to make, because there's too many ideas to put in one video. I'll be sitting here talking for an hour. But the ultimate point here is they don't want women to be looking for more in a man than penis, and money. That's all y'all care about. A lot of y'all, they've got y'all to the point where that's all y'all care about. Nothing else really matters. We understand that would be detrimental to our community. Like the little boys and the little girls have to grow up into that. What do we have to say about that? What are we gonna do? Because honestly, man, I don't want my 5, 6-year-old, because at that point you can understand things. And honestly, the age at which kids begin to understand things is becoming earlier and earlier. There's more media, there's more ideas. And so their brains are going to grasp onto that much earlier. But the fact of the matter is this: they see what we see. You might think you can put the little kid filter on, but they see what we see. These little girls, they're gonna grow up to want to be what they see. You understand? If all they see is women with their own money and they own everything, why do they have any time, any energy for a man? They're trying to get in your head nice and early, so that way, when it all comes down to it, you don't see no reason to have no child. Traditional, not even traditional, basic family values are being stripped from us. And this is how. Through making women not want the men, and then making the men not want the women. That's the only way to do it. Beyond that, it's not really the point of this video. There's lots of systems. There's lots of warfare, psychological, physical, biological, ethical. Many forms of warfare. That's what it is. They make it a war, unfortunately. But the only way for us to fight this war is to do no fighting at all. It's all about us coming together, a coalescence of the people. We have to come together. That goes for the individual level, you and your immediate circle. And I want to take a pause right there. You notice boys and girls don't exactly typically, at this point, at least in my demographic, always make the best friends. I see way more groups of girls and groups of boys than I see an intermingling of the two. It's usually I have my group of girlfriends and you have your group of guy friends. And there's points where we come together, but it's usually just for sex and not to have families. They want us to be in gangs. They want you around. For boys, they have gangs. And then for girls, they have girlfriends. That's really how it goes. It doesn't have to be that way. We're with each other when we in school. It's like we have no real basis of building relationships that extend beyond just fucking each other. That's what I see. I may be wrong, but I will say this. I haven't been in any social circles recently, but from what I've seen, I see groups of girls or groups of boys. Adolescents. I feel like we are influenced to get to that point. What if instead you had lots of people in love all over the place. You got this little couple and this little couple and that little couple. And they're putting their minds together to figure out how we're gonna build a life together. You don't have that. You have a bunch of people running around having fun together. And there's nothing wrong with having fun with your friends. You're supposed to have that time. You're supposed to be able to enjoy your friends. You're supposed to have people around you that you love. And just because they're the same genders, you does not mean that you should separate yourself from them. I'm not about separating people at all, whatsoever. But at the same time, we have a lack of foresight because we don't look forward. We don't think about the future in those ways. They've told us that if it's meant to be, it'll be. There comes a point, especially in all the young men's lives, where they have to realize, brother, it's about making a choice. Everything ain't gonna just fall in your lap. Goes for the women too. You have to take control of your destiny with the choices that you make. I want to get into that in another video. But I will say this, the choices that you make are heavily influenced by your value of the people around you. If you see no space for a man, a boy, a male, to bring anything into your life positive, why ever would you think like that? You realize that whole baby boomer thing was frightening as the fuck for some people? Do you realize how scary that was for some people? I don't know, there's a bunch of motherfuckers just fucking making babies. You know, my family, my grandma got like 8 brothers and sisters. Man, I had to beg for a little brother. And I was 9 by the time I got him. Now people is aborting babies left and right. That's just how you do it. And I'm like, fuck that. A plan B is commonplace now, man. But in whose communities? Why do you want that plan B? You're afraid that you may not be able to provide for this child. That ties back into the systemic oppression. We have less resources, so that way that impacts our decision making. So if you feel like, man, I might not even be able to take care of this kid, this nigga ain't got no money for real, I'm just not finna fuck with none of that. When in reality, you know, people have put in a lot of work behind the scenes to get you into that spot where you feel like he ain't got shit to offer you because what the fuck is love, nigga? I want that bag. And you are afraid that you're not going to be able to provide for a child, so I don't got time for your love, and I don't want no baby with you. So I'm going to just do my own thing and just have casual sex. And if a child does come along, I'll probably just abort it. And if I feel as though I may have gotten pregnant, I'm going to go take that plan B. I'm not trying to condemn your lifestyle. I just want you to see the bigger picture. If at no point we have value for procreating, being fruitful, and multiplying, I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. These people are going to phase us off this planet. Little by little, they're going to get rid of us completely and totally. If we're not making babies, then where are we gonna go? The way they see it is either they all die, we either slowly kill them, we either kill them softly, or they slowly infect us with their black blood. They don't want to look black. They don't want to be brown. You got to get out of your head and thinking, oh, it's no big deal, it's just color. And think how they think. They feel like this is the worst thing that could happen to them. Like, this is the worst thing that can happen to them, to have brown skin, to be brown. You gotta understand that they look at you like a plague. They look at you like a cancer of society. They don't want you to have children. They don't want your kind. So when you start working with those ideas and you realize, man, I don't see no reason to have no relationship for real, and I don't want no babies. Why? They making it about what you want. They trying to continue their genes. They done got in our heads to the point where it's about, what do I want? What do I want? Not what does society, my community need. They're always, trust and believe, very concerned with what their community needs, the resources that they are being provided with, the education. This video is going on too long. I may have to revisit this topic. I most certainly will. But good morning. Thank you for watching.